One love, one love. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. To everybody who is in Guyana and everybody in the diaspora right now that's celebrating independence. Independence greetings to you. And for everybody who's celebrating Memorial Day greetings to you. We're keeping it militant to the troops at the border and for the persons that celebrating Memorial Day. And a special shout out to everybody that's been here even before we started the broadcast today. I just want to ask that as you come in, drop a 9 if you can hear me clearly and everything can be heard where you are right now. Drop a 9 in the comment section for me so that I know that I'm coming through clear. We got a number of updates to share with you today. I'm telling you, the last video, the one slim, things is looking very slim for you right now. Because when y'all hear some of what the family gaffer say, y'all gonna realize why Slim rush and put out the information we put out there. Because, man, listen, drop a 9. You can hear me clearly? All right. No, the family had a conversation. One love to everybody that's definitely in the comment section now, joining the live from Orly. Legal aliens, I see you. Yeah. He had a conversation with the leader of the opposition. And not just him, his wife, Andy Graham, they say, get all three of them giving you some conversation and some insights into this case and some details. Look, let me jump right into the content right away. Let me hear what's going on here.
Saw they put out that they release the man from the
Sorry, hard just now. What?
yeah.
Sorry, hard. What else I can do?
No, they're
Where's that? Where's it else I can't do nothing about
let me
now.
tell you, we could keep some pressure on for them to the
You
demand
know, you guys
investigation.
didn't see how these people operating. If you guys open your eyes and see these people trying to hide something, I just look into justice of that and look what happened. Watch what happened. But all I ask the people is me that. Watch what happened. No, this whole country turned up just because me asking me that. Why is this? And now you're trying to tell me and try to tell people them. This thing is simple. If the police will respond the way I see the police responding for the past couple of days, they say it would have never happened at all. They say it would have never happened in the first place. Now the police trying to do every single thing. You know, the police don't send the court and them thing this morning, so yesterday I hear. Eh? Those body I hear them get remanded them up on 500,000 bill that kind of thing. Want to all them police so you this thing here. What then?
So many people still left on $500,000 bill. But you know who they're upon pay leave? You know who they're upon administrative leave? Mandal, the person who was setting up this whole thing from the jump, the person who was there originally, they're upon administrative leave, collecting money, right? While the nurse is locked up, plus a lot of other persons they're upon $500,000 bill, and enough other people, some of them ain't even got the option, right? These is the things we come in to expose every single chance that we get. Why? We cannot allow them to put this one under the rug, Delta 9 family. So as you come in, make sure that you thumbs up this content because we making sure we put this one to in the record on the front burner in the face so they could see and hear everything we're going on and realize that persons are paying attention to this all over the world. And we're making sure we bring all the details.
In the pond. What I'm the pond? Me hear not that be like today. I still the home. I hear nothing. Me ask nobody nothing. I waiting. I giving everybody a long time. So they can't say I am back. Me know I investigation or whatever. I do. Me looking after me that too. You understand? I do. And right now, he's standing here talking to y'all. He's like, the y'all, he's saved to wait till every single body. All I can do right about now is pray. And the amount of prayer who happening right about now around this morning, and people who
Mm-hmm.
praying, you hear? I know I can get justice.
Cause and effect is a
I
must.
know the Father gonna answer, he answer me on. He answer you on. Or he answer she on. Or he answer you on. He answer
All right, that's what
somebody
it
else on.
is.
Because he got too much body praying. I'm telling you. I was surprised to see so much body shows love for this. And if people could tell me if this is not, they say what happened, it's not the Father works. Yeah, I don't lose my daughter. And now, about 5 days ago, I lose my daughter. Trying to get over it.
It can take some time, but
Trying to get over it.
what we'll try and do is to keep the pressure on them so that the investigation go ahead with the whole.
Yeah, I see how they traumatized the brother. Yeah, I see how they got this brother traumatized. Could you imagine going to sleep? You come home, you go to sleep, you say, alright, them children gone, let them catch a little fight. And you won't realize when you wake up, your life is about to change forever. You won't realize that you're about to lose your eldest daughter while you're just trying to catch a little rest. Eh? Traumatize our brother. And then doing all kind of thing to sell a set of false narrative and people being disrespectful, not just to he, but to family too in a time like this. In a time like this, in a few minutes, we're going to make sure that we present again because guess what? The GoFundMe is up and running again, and we're going to put it up on the screen in a few minutes so that persons can definitely go over there and donate to the family. Right now, what we're listening to is a meeting that the family had with the leader of the opposition. Brand new details about who was by the pool and all kind of thing. So as you come in, thumbs up the content. How we keeping this one on the headline. We saying justice for Adriana. We're saying justice for all the persons that lost their lives under a lot of suspicious circumstances in Guyana, a lot of innocent blood.
Hope of getting the results as to what actually happened.
Now, I hear the doctor say, I hear it. I don't even watch. I didn't have belly. I tell him, everybody want to know why I went here, why I went there. I didn't had this to go and see these
Mm.
things
It's
with these two
hard.
eyes. Because if these two eyes see them things, it's like after you close like this, you can see it. After I make so I can see it. That means like I can't sleep for the rest of my life. I choose
Jeez.
I just wait tell me father for go.
Jeez.
When the sudden result come out, I tell me mistress, you go use just like me, I ain't gotta go. Once you there and you use just like me. When the tell she said, I said, Adrian drunk. Okay, Adrian drunk. Not there. Can't be there, Adrian drunk. Adrian can never drunk in the pool. The CID or the special unit or whatever come the next day pump out the pool. I hope that got sample of the pool water. That's all I hope. I hope the police that will investigate this matter have sample of the pool water and pump out from the pool.
So yeah, I'll hear the father asking right? Yeah, I'll hear the father asking right there, because people come and pump out the pool, you know. They come and they pump out the pool. So we hope that when it's time now for the comparison, because guess what? There's a toxicology report that we still need the information on, because the toxicology report still ain't coming yet. Real thing doing justice for her is a must. Real thing, Mr. James. Real thing. And we cannot allow them to divert it or gaslight it. Yeah, I hear what the father is saying right there. His daughter did not drown in the pool, just like all the specialists them saying. But guess who's saying something else? Guess who disrespecting the family and talking all kind of thing? But a second autopsy is somehow like if they asking too much and like if they're being somehow disrespectful to those in authority. Is there any authority when there's an innocent life loss that we're supposed to be looking to that is greater than the justice for that innocent life? Come on, we all gotta be real right now with what's taking place in the country, you know. We cannot live and watch this take place in the country. This is our opportunity to make sure that we come together in unity and build a new type of relations between us in Guyana. We don't have to relate with one another like that at all. We have to come together for one another in this situation and in a lot of other situations on a neutral pole for real justice.
Because remember, this water in your lungs, they have to test it. This is what we're waiting for. So I hope the police and this pool water. So when if this water come back, they're able to say where this water come from. Because remember, no, I'm not police. I'm waiting for the police to and it's hard for me to know to myself. These people them find water in me that lungs. With me that
Hmm.
cotton in your nose. Even to the parlor. You find the finger no. And you find the finger, but you see the parlor. You
Well,
know what you do.
it might not necessarily be the parlor. It's the access was given to the parlor.
Them
I have heard.
he by
You see what the father is saying? The father is saying again, there was cotton wool in his daughter's nose. The father is saying again that something went down at this parlor when his daughter was there because there was cotton wool in his daughter's nose. And where did the cotton wool go? Where did the cotton wool go, Delta 9 family? Here, the father consistently talking about this cotton wool in his daughter's knows, right? Everything they're talking about, but they're running away from this. But guess what? There's a second pathology on the way. There's a second pathology on the way. The family went to the US. The family is in the US right now, right? The family is in the US right now for the second pathology. And the thing is this, very soon we're going to start to hear a lot of information coming out about this, because not just the second pathology is on the way, but remember when Mr. Huge explained to us, he explained to us that, look, very soon we could get the satellite footage that's going to show us everything we went down there that day. So when we get that footage, right? When we get that footage, when we get that footage, now all we got to do is analyze that footage, see who was outside, see who was doing what, analyze who was in the pool, and there's a whole lot of persons like who light the fire, all of them things you could see from the satellite footage. So the claiming the camera them ain't working, but they got cameras above the camera that we're about to see. Let's hear more of what the family had to say. Let's hear more of what the family is revealing to us right now.
Yes,
And
the
they
storage
didn't have
pool.
a we call it life guard. And nobody
No,
did it.
no, no,
But
not to my
the one who
knowing.
training the children.
So remember yesterday or the day before, someone was asking if there was a lifeguard here. The ground, the conforming, there was no lifeguard here. So we clarify that no lifeguard was at the pool. It was swim at your risk, swim at your own risk. There was no lifeguard there, but there was a swimming instructor there.
Would have had to
Yes,
notice.
he brings some children and he was training.
Okay.
Not to my knowing that a lifeguard is there to look over the children.
Yeah.
So, Granny, you're saying that they searched that pool completely?
Yes,
And there were
yes.
several people swimming
No,
after the
after
alarm went off.
exactly.
So no, I don't
People
think
swim there
anybody
the
in Guyana
night
believe.
till
Yeah.
about 11:30.
Yeah.
People swim.
Wait, man. Y'all hear that? People were swimming in the pool until 11:30 the night. People swimming in the pool till 11:30 the night in that small pool, and you have a child allegedly at the bottom of that pool and nobody touch it. Nobody touched the bottom of an 8 feet pool whole night that was swimming in that small pool area. Everybody stay in the shallow. Y'all hear what the grand just say, man? Let me hear it again, but let me listen to this piece again.
Not to my knowing that a lifeguard is there to look over the children.
Yeah.
So, Granny, searched that pool completely.
Yes,
And
yes.
several people after the alarm
After
went off.
exactly.
So I
People
don't think
swim
anybody
11:30. People swim.
I don't believe nobody this
12
world
o'clock,
did have child died in
No,
that.
no,
No.
no.
12 o'clock, an officer come, as old people say, that 1 in a million, right? That officer. When he came to that hotel that night, he said, they call you out to bed, right? And he came. He didn't left us outside going and talk to this boss, come out back and then talk to us. He come and he touched me, said, Granny, come. And I went and I stand up with him. Yes, yes. And when he said, get four more person with you, and we going into the building. As soon as we went in, he asked to show it the room where the camera set up from. So the man saying, this is not the camera them ain't working. He said, I said to show me the room. So when we went into that room, I went with them. They take out a thing like a DVD, pull it out, and give the CID. Then we went
Mhm.
upstairs to the next one, and he did the same thing, take out the thing. He said, and now setting up this one. And then he said, give me your phone. So when he said, give me your phone, he said, what you want my phone for? He said, then he get, I didn't make a phone call or he get a phone call. But he telling whoever back on the phone, ask who is the officer. And when I hear who was the officer, the person cut off the phone and he hand the police the phone. So like that, they pull up on the he phone now. Where it is most of the thing you see the black. So they get one and two in between. So they say where it is.
So you see what we were saying? You see the ground, the conform what we were saying. The cameras was not able to be visible on the monitor, but after the police take his phone, they were able to access an app on the phone that would show you the cameras. So there were always apps on the phone that you could use to access the camera and be able to see what's going on. So persons were right. These cameras might have been on all the time. What y'all think? I think there's a way for them to turn the cameras on and off from the app. There must be a way for them to do that from the app. So they had access to the camera from the phone as well, not just from the monitor and the stuff that was taken away by the police. The app was on the phone. So as long as you got that phone, it's just like if you could use and see all the cameras them as well. Here the gram, the clarifying right here for we. So, Mr. Slim, things are looking slimmer for you, Mr. Slim, because you see that information we put out there and claiming that this and that is a lot of lies in that conversation, and the family is exposing you and a lot of other people who claiming that they were negligent. Y'all gonna hear, because persons were around the pool. So there's no way. Man, let me let the gram the top. Because persons were around this pool, you know. Persons were around the pool. Because they say, oh, 20 something family member come in. How come this, the. The people were around the pool. So they would have heard or saw a person struggling in the water. Y'all gonna hear the family members say for themselves. So now, when you see people trying to sell that narrative, say, hey, you know them people was around the pool. What you trying to say?
Pinter, he said at the back. He asked, you where this next non pinter? He said at the back. He said, so you don't have non pinter in front? He said, no, they don't sit there. And that was it. So I don't know,
We keep
you know,
monitoring it and we'll try and
yeah,
mobilize whoever support.
like what really play out there. I
Hmm.
don't know what really go on there.
The
A child
biggest
is
cover up is
missing,
what playing out.
business flowing as usual, police come. See the CID reads at 11 o'clock when we tell you if he can close off the building. He said if I close this building off, who's going to pay me? So
Wow. You hear what he said to a taxpayer? You hear what he said to the person who's actually paying him right now legally? If he does what he's supposed to do, right? If he does what he's supposed to do, close off, cordon off this area. We can't find this girl since earlier today. You come in the evening hours. People still swimming in this pool that they claim this girl drowned in, you know. People are still swimming in the pool. The cop come and she's asking me these questions, you know. Y'all don't understand the stupidness where they think, where they telling people and what we believe. How is it possible for a child the size she got 4 feet in height, 8 feet of water, right? The pool is not a big pool. I want you to drop a 9 in the comment section if you're saying justice for Adriana Bun. Drop a 9 in the comment section because this right here is blatant. It is blatant. Persons were swimming in the pool overnight. Persons were swimming in the pool. There were persons swimming. So if person's swimming in a pool and a person is down there, you mean for tell me if nobody jam this person? You mean for tell me with all of the commotion in that small pool, nothing you move? We ain't see nobody couldn't have possibly figure out that that child was there. That's what they want we believe. Hmm? Look, the number on the screen, definitely the number on the screen is a WhatsApp number, Mike. It definitely is a WhatsApp number. You could definitely call in on WhatsApp if you would like.
So I put two and two together. Well, the man pay me. If you close the building off, he cannot get paid. So at least he didn't take it in front of me alone. My sister them was there, my daughter-in-law was there, Ali was
This
there.
is the police.
Yes, three.
No respect. I should see, you see, she giving his name. She giving his name. She giving his name. How you gonna tell people though? How could you tell people that? Look how it turned out now, eh? Look how it turned out. And then when the situation end up escalating later, you understand why. You hear? It's not she alone was there when he was saying that, you know. It's not she alone here, he said it, you know. The wicked.
Is in CID. This is one of the police
She
that I
says if he
bring from
close off
Prussia.
the building, if you are gonna pay him.
No, he said if he closed the
Yeah.
building up, who is going to pay him? Yeah, yeah. So we don't know.
All right.
And even to then, I'm saying police get involved now. So much police come when they buy them through the tire on the road, they come and they clear it off and they stand there. Okay, why the same amount of policemen then come and we upturn the building? We could have searched. Maybe I could have get my granddaughter back alive. Whoever
There's
they
so
start
many
it,
things that could
whoever
have
they're trying to
turned
do,
out
we could
different
have
that day.
saved.
So many things.
That is
So
my
many
point.
things.
I don't have
Alan Brooks.
I don't have
So many things could have turned
problem.
out different.
We
Real
didn't send
thing.
these people out to rob people and do people these things. I'm so sorry about that. I am so sorry that I see in these things. They take my granddaughter now to go and breaking into people's
Well,
place,
don't say to take
robbing
No, no, no,
people.
hold on. Don't say to take your
Yeah,
granddaughter. The history of this country has
yeah,
been, whether we like it or not.
yeah.
And I, as leader of the opposition, keep saying to people I didn't want protests at
Mm,
this stage. And this is before this incident.
mhm.
Because a lot of criminal elements, some
Yes.
put by the government, some on their own, take the opportunity these things
Yeah.
happen. So you should feel guilty. The reality is people capitalize on
Mhm.
it. And that's unfortunate, but
Infiltrate the struggle.
But we can't, Granny, we cannot allow this debt to go down because when we in 2020 we had the Henry Boys and Harris Singh, we
yeah.
had Quindon Bacchus, we had Orrin Boston, we had Fodgeny from and Peters from Linden, and now this one. Is it got to stop some at some point it has to stop.
and then the police should have operated different. The difference is there was such an incident the same hotel before.
Right? This is not the first time, you know. This is not the second time, you know. This is the third time. This is the third time on record because who knows what else they get away with? Who knows how much other Orlando don't take the fall for enough of the thing what they do and never trace back to over there. Who knows how many other persons don't feel in the squeeze for this hotel and the things that went down in there? Who else, buddy? Look, And this is not the first, the second. Let me hear how much time on record because who knows how many times off the record things done went down over there. Hmm?
Yes, I
This is
think
the
that
third.
the
2012.
third, I
Yeah,
think,
this is the
It
third
is the
one.
yeah,
third
yeah,
incident.
yeah, yeah. So
It's really sad. Really, really sad.
It's crazy.
All right, we'll do what we can. We'll work.
yeah,
I know she used to go to it was Metamir's or that
yeah, the
Islamic
Muslim
school,
school,
right?
yes,
Yes.
yes.
And
They
then she
used to go
transferred and came to
to
Parika
Puerto,
Salem.
yes, yes.
And before that Muslim school, there was a school right in
In Greenwich Park,
Greenwich Park that she used to
yes.
attend. And then
That's the first school I attend in Greenwich
yes,
Park.
yes.
All right.
I followed her academic life from the red one. She told me she was doing well in school too. She was doing very well.
Yes,
So she
yes.
was gonna do
Yeah,
well,
she was doing
prominent
well.
trans.
Yes,
Was gonna do
because
well.
So
the
sad when
morning
you hear
Rachel
this,
leave
you know?
home, I was cooking in the kitchen and my daughter come in, Mommy, you realize something? I said, no, what? You should do this, what they I said, it's what? Here she today Adriana writing. And I drop everything and I pick up the phone and I call her mother. I said, Miss here, where Adriana? She said, we don't reach the school. I said, okay, tell your granny, wish you good luck and all the best. And I'm going to pray for her. Tell she don't be afraid. I should be strong. So she said, okay. She didn't give a shit. So, we get home, school closed. And this trip wasn't a planned trip. It
I want y'all realize that this family gotta live with this trauma, you know. This family gotta live with what this wicked person did for the rest of their life, you know. And persons are still trying to cover up this situation, you know, gentlemen, family. Persons are still trying to sell us all type of dreams, and we wide awake looking at them like you're crazy, you're serious, you think we're gonna allow this in the society? We can't. We can't allow these type of things. How listen to how many persons this one wicked person affecting. Hmm? This grandmother carry out your granddaughter just to enjoy herself like they normally would. You mean to tell me this is something that we're gonna allow for continue? We're gonna allow persons to think they could do these type of things to anybody? In Guyana, we got to say no to this. In the Caribbean, we got to push and say no to this. And all over the world, persons should be safe from crazy psychopaths that would do things like this.
they just come up like that. We ain't got nothing to do. Okay, let me go back somewhere. But we was going to Hubu, got a resort there. But when we reached there, we hear the price to go in and it was so expensive because it was a lot of
Oh, and plus we ain't like to get off easy with no insanity charge and them thing. Cause we want to hear you was mad when no. So it's not no craze. They definitely got to be seen because they're very calculative in this case. They got the mens rea, and it's definitely clear that they was actors reus. Shout out to the top cops, Slow and Conway. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely was a criminal mindset because you could clearly see that there's a cover up. And we could clearly see as well from everything that's going on in this case right now, from the pool to the persons trying to sell us a dream, to people reading out certain things that they shouldn't reading out, to persons disrespecting the liar, breaking into the liar office, all kind of things going on with this case. So we see there's a lot of actors serious. There's a lot of criminal action.
us. So we said, man, let we come back and we go to pool. It's the ever first time I take them to pool. I never take them to pool. We go elsewhere. We went all over and walk but I never take them to pool. But you see at the back there, if you notice at the back there, it is a river. It's
Mhm.
open now. So the father scared them there to swim. And that is an open river.
And they
So
can
she can
swim.
swim.
So it's no doubt that well she cannot swim.
Oh, she can swim?
She is a good swimmer.
Oh my god.
Y'all hear though? Y'all hear for yourself what is going on here, man. You hear what the family saying? You hear what the grand is saying? Your granddaughter's a good swimmer. Yes, things do happen to good swimmers in water. We understand that. But in this case, she had experience in the water. It's not a child that don't know how to swim and never experienced them type of thing before. It's a child that is know to swim from. She's swimming in river and them thing. A pool is joke to you. A pool is joke to you. One time you bounce and shoot and you're gone. People who swim in the river know how to swim in a pool, buddy. And they're trying to sell us this dream. Well, why want to ask them, right? The white bed sheet was swimming in the pool too. Somebody went swimming with a white bed sheet and left it in the pool too. Why the white bed sheet? What the white bed sheet was doing in there? And we could have seen the white bed sheet in the pool too. What was the white bed sheet doing in the pool? There's a part of the swimming practice. How we could allow this kind of thing, man? This is why I want to know. How? How we gonna let it sell me this dream? How? We sleeping? We wide awake and looking at them and listening to all the foolishness that they're trying to tell me. And we could clearly understand that somebody is trying to paint this narrative that the family is somehow negligent in some way in this case. But y'all listen carefully to what this grandma is saying, because we all got a grandmother, we all got a mother, we all might have sisters, we got daughters, right? We got loved ones that got to move around in Guyana. And when one person realized that they could get away with this, other sick minded, cruel people, because this is a cruel person, is going to take fashion and feel like they could do it too. Y'all realize it's going to be a snowball effect if we allow them to sweep this one under the rug, if we allow them to continue to do these type of things to us all the time. Why is why is these things going on? Why Guyanese got to be traumatized in this by a person and no justice? You think everybody in glad to know that this person is off the road? Everybody in glad for know that the persons involved in this is off the road. I want y'all drop a 9 in the comment section if y'all in glad to see. Like drop a 9 for myself. Because I glad to see the people involved in this off the road, buddy. They're dangerous, not just to we, but everything we got for car we country, they're messing up the tourism, they're messing up all kind of thing. People coming in the place and looking at me like, hey, me going in the pool with me child and told me back. Why in a place like Guyana? Why we got to live like that? I putting up me 9%. It is time that we come together in unity. Get people like this. Get persons that got this type of mindset, that even think that it's possible for them to get away like something like this in the community. Now we got to get them out. We got to get them out. And everybody that covering up and saying this and saying that, listen, we see y'all. We see y'all, buddy. We see y'all. Yeah, we see y'all. There'll soon be a big line in the sand for those who are for the wicked cover up and for those who are for justice for our Guyanese brothers and sisters that lost their life, not just at Double D, but at a number of other places in Guyana.
Man.
She is a
Wow.
good swimmer,
Wow.
so she can swim. The father scared them for the weekend. Sometimes he and his friend then cook a pot and then relax and then bathe in and when he tell them, well, time now out to the water to come up. So is and that is not a pool, there's a river. Oh, now the wave coming and slash,
Mhm.
and then
You got to
bathing.
notice it.
Yeah, and I am
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
expert, but if anything had happened in the pool, you'd have knock up the water or something.
But
Nothing
the
of the sort
thing
in that.
about me that we was there, we had two tables here. Well, my brother-in-law, my niece's husband, he smoked cigarette. So you don't want to smoke the cigarette around the children and hungry ones. So he and my husband went on the other side of the pool and they sit down there. If she was drunk, then say put it like she was
Mhm.
drunk and she thing, they would see her in the water, like,
And if a man is
splashing.
training people there,
Yes,
You would have seen and know
yes,
also.
yeah. And more other children was in the pool. More other people was bathing in the pool. So,
Y'all here. Not only was the gram to them right close to the family. Listen how brazen and disrespectful this person is. Listen how brazen and disrespectful this person is. The girl is in there with her family members literally surrounding her. You hear that? Two family members on the deep side of the pool where they said the girl drowned, right? And this person still brazen enough to come around and think that they can do something like that. Still think they could come around and do that, right? Three car load of people in there with you. Three car load. I wanna ask y'all when y'all going out with your family members. Everybody in the comment section right now. Mike, Bluebell, everybody, Latoya Archer, everybody in the comment section right now. Elise, everybody, Lynn. When you go out with your family, do you always have three carloads of family members with you to look around and make sure that everyone is safe that's with you? Sometimes you don't go solo if you're going with your loved one or your child. Do you really have that many family members watching your back? How could we feel safe in Guyana, knowing that with all of them family members in a small establishment like Doubleday's pool area, something as heinous as this could go down, no cameras to see them or nothing? How could we really feel safe and comfortable in a country like that? And then you got leaders that before they bring in the FBI, before they bring in real people from Scotland Yard, before they bring in the international law enforcement department that's really going to crack the case because local people is corrupt and local persons, not all of them, I got to point out, not all of them. I got to point out, not all the police in Guyana is selling out. Not all the police in Guyana is doing wicked things to people and is corrupt, but some of them expose themselves by double day and a lot of other situations as well. A lot of other situations as well. And we got to point this out. Y'all hear what the grandmother is saying. You hear carefully what the grandmother is saying. There's enough of them when they're all around the place. We hear not we see nobody splashing up. We just there in a whole different world. How this happened? It don't make any sense. There's a scenario where when she went to the bathroom, that's the last time person saw her. There's a scenario where the last time person saw her, she went to a facility that was close to the bar that got this staircase. They're saying the staircase ain't leading into the bar, but I don't trust that conversation. I don't trust that conversation because no cameras ain't walking in an international hotel is something that's very suspicious.
so nobody see she was fighting in the water. Nobody see. We ain't see nothing, nothing. Believe me to God, be me witness. We
So
didn't
you
even
can't
get a
see what was in
clue.
there.
We didn't even get a clue. But I thank God for one thing that we didn't wait hours after.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't wait hours after. Everything happened within 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. All of this. We didn't wait 2, 3 hours and then Allah
No 1 hour
or
long.
yeah, and then saying that, well, now we may share and I didn't have time with her. When I take my grandchildren out, if I carry them to Lenormand and we sit there, I just sit down and I just look at all of them just run and play and jump and you know, and I would call for them. I remember.
So they're making it seem as if the ground is somehow negligent. They're making it seem as if the grounder is somehow to be blamed. You know what you call that? Victim blaming. You know what you call that? Victim shaming. And that is wrong. That is wrong. All the family was around the pool enjoying themselves. It was a regular outing. Now, how are you blaming them when the facility cameras is off? Suddenly all the cameras is servicing. Like if these days is use them big cameras, it's some small cameras with a whole lot of very minute parts. In no way nobody servicing all of them cameras like that. The only thing that you could say, yes, you're about to update the password or whatever so people can't tap into your circuit. Yeah, you could understand that, but that don't take long. That don't take long. And you would do that during the daytime as well. So that in the evening hours, you would got everything running. Or when you open for business, you would have certain things running where you know you got an area that needs to be surveillance, like a pool. Or you got a pool area open with no lifeguard plus no camera. No lifeguard plus no camera, you're taking people money to come and swim in the pool. Plus, when they find the little girl body, they get a sheet at the bottom of the pool. You people them, couple minutes before, they're right by the pool with a laundry cart, handing out liquor and all kind of things to people. Hmm? At a protest. A lot of suspicious things go on at this hotel, you know, a lot of suspicious things. A lot of things that ain't adding up and making no sense. And y'all here with the ground is saying she's always going everywhere with your grandchildren. Them listen because they're trying to destroy the family is well.
There, the lady asked me, she said, Auntie, how you remember all them name we call him? I said, I know them name. Plus, my husband, brother, wife, they get murdered. Um, she died and left 6 children, 5 girls and 1 boy. And I open my hands and welcome them in. I got a second daughter. She will do C6 tomorrow. From tomorrow, yeah, she can start right C6. And I mind all of these children. And anywhere we go in, I don't have a cab. I know the state taxi because I don't want to travel in bus. So we just take like call for 2 taxi. So even to the taxi man, say, Auntie, you gotta get a big vehicle, because you got a lot of children. So maybe that is my blessing to look after children. And
Hmm.
I got all of these children, and when I start calling them names, everybody's laugh. My neighbor them just tell me, how you remember all them
Osiris, that's a
names.
real thing. The
I
pool
say yes,
wasn't even big,
them name store in my brain.
nor
I
the
was
facility.
remember. And if I ain't see
But
one, I would
we
ask,
asking ourselves
wait there, wait
why
this
they
one there,
treat it
wait this
like
one
that.
there.
That's what we want to know. Why
I
they
I
had
not
persons
far
swimming
from
in
it.
there till
I live
late in the
next
night
to
and nobody couldn't touch nobody in the pool.
and my neighbor could tell. She just asked me. She said and hold them and she shot. And when I passed, she called me, Carol, how you just able use that these children so neat down the road, their bag, they got a lunch bag, they got a book bag, everything. And they walk to school because the school in the farm. But when my husband at home, we got bike, he distracted. So when my husband is not at home, they would walk. So, you know, that to know like this thing happened and everybody just bashing me and saying that,
No, 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 no. A
you
lot
know,
of people are
me,
taking
A
up for
people,
you.
a
A
lot
lot
of
of
people
people are
are
taking up
yes,
for you.
listen,
yeah,
listen.
A lot of
yeah,
people are
plenty
No
taking up
matter
people
with the few
bash.
persons who's talking stripping it.
I'm not a social media person. I have Facebook.
So the thing is this. Y'all hear what the Graham is saying. No, they got a lot of persons, international and local, that's covering the case. Shout out to Cole. Shout out to Goddard, right? That's in. I like that last name. Imagine she was with 20 family members at and they kidnap her. You see if you by yourself can't eat your dinner, right? Because how could you feel safe in a situation like that? And plus, guess what's going on with this one? Who come from the mountain police, the retired Canadian mountain police. The top cops them exposing he what going on right now, you know. Yeah. The top cops them exposing he and what going on. So right now let me hear what the top cops got to say about this so-called um new investigator that they brought in, this international person, but we know that he's retired. And plus, the guy is not even really, man, like, hear from the top cops then. Why are you bringing the top cops then? Because they would have served the country at a very high caliber for a very long time in law enforcement. And they're very credible, men of integrity. So that's why we bring them on the channel to present information like this, to hear from law enforcement on law enforcement situations. So let me hear what the top cops them got to say right now, buddy. If you haven't already, thumbs up the video. Thumbs up the video. Why I tell you thumbs up the video asking you kindly to do so is because there's a lot of false narratives being painted about this case. They're trying their best, and even more so now that elections is September 1st, they're gonna try their best to distance themselves from what's going on here. They're gonna try their best to quail this situation, to dust it under the ground, to make sure that they keep it away from everything in the headlines. Why? A lot of persons are trying to cover this up in real situations of authority right now in the country. Persons in authority right now could still call before the parliament is dissolved. Before the parliament is dissolved, they could still say, listen, we can do this. Make sure that the FBI come in and investigate what's going on with this case, because it's a country to country thing. It's a leave no stone unturned thing, Mr. President. Remember, everybody here you say it. The world here you say it. What does that mean? Because it ain't looking like we say right now. And if we can't really trust your word on them, there's the same reason why the opposition walk out of parliament recently, because they ain't want to talk about what's going on with the persons that are getting killed. They ain't want to talk nothing about setting up a situation that a system that is going to prevent this from happening to other children in the country. But guess what they want we talk about? Everything that's going on at the border and the voting that was supposed to go on for persons to take over Essequibo. That listen right now, let me look at what's going on right now in the country. Yes, that is an important thing for us to look into. But aren't we going to look into the safety of the children? Let me hear what the top cap got to say about this Canadian Mountain Police body. Because he come knowing he ain't get no experience for do nothing. It's just a set of wicked things going on, a set of wicked things, and a set of people in power, and they're using the power to keep the country in a position, buddy. It don't make no sense when you think about it.
Thing like that. You know, he does do me investigation. What regional body? And then he said that he demanded other investigations in the region. What investigations? Those are natural follow-up questions. What? Name one. Let's follow one a little more. Like name one. Can't name none because the man never did any investigation in the Caribbean as he was trying to say. I did my investigation. And my information from a reliable source said is a certain man who has an office or a security company. The office, the local office is in somewhere in Prasha Nagar. The man lives in Canada. And he is the man who recommended this Leonard McCushion to them. Need not to say that this man is a strong P.P.P supporter. The man who made the recommendation to them.
Y'all hearing this? You see why I'm telling you hit the thumbs up button and boost this in the algorithm? Because y'all hearing the person who they brought is affiliated. He's affiliated, so no wonder they would bring y'all. Even if you retire, they're gonna bring you. Because he's affiliated and he's gonna work along with the narrative that's already there. So that's why as soon as he come, he say you get all the relevant information in you. You just come and you get all the information. Top cops them show you the piece there. Now they're coming back and they're exposing more incompetence, more injustice. Right? So if you not already subscribe to the Top Cops them channel, search them on YouTube, speaking out, exposing corruption and incompetence. They on YouTube, and you could hear the entire video on this topic and a number of other topics, exposing what's going on in the country, exposing them. He ain't got no experience in this, no experience, but he coming now to tell we are kind of stupid things. He coming now to make more worse a situation that we already got right now. More gaslight and more foolishness for the country. Eh? Why? Why must this person get away with this? Why must people cover up this? Something as heinous as this. Y'all didn't think this is the worst thing that you could try to cover up innocent blood. How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna do that to the people's children? And then you come in to cover up the case even more. You hear the top cops them saying,
I get the name and
coming to
everything.
cover up.
He made the recommendation about this Leonard McCushion. Mark came. The lawyer, when I did my own research and so on, a judge, same Leonard McCushion, remarked that he was a desk police with little field experience. That's a judge remark. That Leonard McCushion, this man would have built up as this big-time investigator. The judge said that he is a desk police with little field experience. And they bring him to do the investigation. Right? They want FBI. They don't want no credible source. They bring this one man, and then the president tell you, well, he had committed to doing well, and that is all he did, all that he promised to. Lie. Never did that. Never fulfill his promise.
Y'all hear who they bring? Y'all hear who they bring? Hmm? Another person to cover up this case with Adriana Bobby. How could we really trust these people? How? How? They have the authority to get people that is actually a part of the law enforcement still, you know. They got the opportunity to call in the FBI. They got the opportunity to call in actual acting members of the force. And they bring this person that they are affiliated with to deal with this case. How that make any sense, PA? How that make any sense, buddy? This is why I want to know, PA. This is why I want to know. You know? This is why I want to know, J Queen. That's why trying to find out good night, special good night to every single person tuning in right now. And a shout out to everybody tuning in from the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Special shout out to J Queen touching down in the flight all the way from Trinidad. Shout out to everybody, Osiris, everybody that's definitely dropping all those insightful comments. Angela Bean, Angela Ben, actually. Special shout out to every person definitely checking in. They think we stupid for real. Angela, they think we stupid. They think we stupid. That's why we out here saying justice for Adriana. Because if we don't, and if we allow them, I'm telling you, look at what the main media is pushing right now. I'm gonna show y'all what the main media channel, the biggest media channels is pushing certain narratives that we got to make sure that we clarify. We got to make sure that we clarify. One love, one love, one love to every single person in the live, and a special shout out to Julie Lynch. Thank you for tuning in to Delta 9 Media. Let's hear what the top cop saying about this one who come for sell we a dream. And you know what? They're gonna say, oh, people are being disrespectful to professionals. They're gonna say, why are we trying to question people qualifications and all of them things? But when you come in and you used to just do desk work and you just come in and take in taxpayers' money, you can't do nothing for the keys. And what sense that really make is just more problems you're causing in the country?
To basically to leave no stone unturned. Never did that. I understand, right? That the man beat out this Leonard McCushion. And again, we mentioned it before. We want them to come out and tell people what is the position with this investigation. Because my understanding is that the man was paid $50,000 US dollars, put up at the Marriott. Once you pay $50,000, you put you up at the Marriott, I have a suspicion that is all expense paid.
Hey, Calvin Ross, shout out, big up yourself, buddy. But you hearing this? You hearing what's going on, eh? This man come and get 50K, Marcia. This man come and get 50K. Chilling out in the Pegasus, don't got no qualifications, and come already with the intentions to lie to Guyanese, and it's taxpayers' money you get paid with. Y'all seen this stupidness we're going on in the country right in front we face? Right in front we face. Independence Day, and persons are tuned in right here saying justice for Adriana. Unity and justice. And the thing is this, justice will come. Because cause and effect is real, buddy. Cause and effect. Yeah, let's see how they getting exposed. Everything they try getting exposed. They bring all this one slim for come alive, but oh, I was working there and you was there the night. You was there the night. You know what the family said? When the body was discovered, the only persons that were in the hotel at that time, Adino Young, the only person watching from St. Vincent, big up yourself. And the only person, big up all the Grenadians that's tuned in, and big up everybody all over the Caribbean that's paying attention to this case. And we're shouting and we're screaming justice for Adrianna, justice. Because guess why? This person who they bring in, right? He come now for play a game like if he can come and clarify everything, and then he can say, well, guess what? She drowned in the pool. Carry back to this same conversation again that's just when I think about it, sometimes it is be like, they really believe we that stupid. The family just clarified that the only persons that were in the hotel when the body was discovered were police and staff. Where was this Banner Slim that was talking this four-part lying session that we shared in the last video? Where was Slim, the person that claimed that he was working there and was talking all of these things about the family and all kind of thing? Where were you, Mr. Slim, when that body went into the pool? Because you seem to know a lot, you know. You seem to know a whole lot. Let's hear some more from the top cops about what's going on with this overseas person that they bring to investigate this case. If you haven't already, take a second, thumbs up the video, boost it in the algorithm so that everybody can stay updated with everything we're going on with this case and everything in Guyana. If it's your first time here with us, then consider subscribing. We have more than 1,000 videos with similar content.
If he had to go anywhere, he sure they would have sent police car to take him wherever he want to take him and so on. $50,000. And apart from that interaction with the family and the lawyer, we ain't hearing nothing more. Where this man has started his work, the man made a statement where I said disqualified him. And that told me that this man has no proper experience. Because when he told them, right, he said, let me read what it is reported that he said, right? McCushion clarified that he was hired by the government of Guyana and not the Guyana police force to assist with the investigations. He noted that he had received copies of all relevant documents, pictures, and videos related to the incident from the police, which he would thoroughly review during the conduct of the interviews, let me read about, which he would thoroughly review before conducting any interviews or decide which individuals would be interviewed. Ama come, you not conduct no interview yet. Turn to him. You never got statement from the father or the mother or the grandmother who went there, but he can tell us that all relevant documents, he received all relevant documents, he received pictures, all. Oh, you know, those are all the relevant documents if you ain't even start an investigation. So I said that statement alone, to me, disqualifies him. Disqualified. Well, where is he? Where is Leonard McCushion? What has he done so far? 2 weeks. I think today is the second week. And counting. Rumor has it that the man beat out.
The man enjoying money right now, and Guyanese gotta wait until he ready to present something for them. We gotta wait to hear the lies that he can cook up. Because we know some type of lie he gotta come with, you know. That's the only thing that he could possibly come with. Because guess what? One, he don't got the experience. And two, if he already telling we got the information that he need, when we know for a certainty there's a lot of false narratives out there. Like this one is so that was spreading this narrative here. Remember this one here? Remember this one Mandel right here? Remember this one here? At the scene, trying to tell people all kind of things. This one is still this, you know, administrative leave, you know. Administrative leave, buddy. Collecting money still still getting a full check, relaxing himself, not having to punch in, not having to do nothing but enjoy some free time with full pay. While hundreds of our brothers and sisters sitting down right now in a cell on 500 KB. What?
Give you a hearing too.
No, never happened now. Officer is always in a rush now. I am a company with mother. We have sourced that building. We went into attic. Look, there's an attic up there, and there's an attic in this building here. We have to look for the attic. It's what we doing. Plugging the dead heart. No.
Who was that person that was shouting you out right there? Who was that person giving you a call right there and saying, hey, do this or do that? Watch. You ain't listening to people who there the whole night, you know. You got important call right now. Notice the fire is still burning in the background. So is this the call when you can go inside and then cook up the conversation for come back out in half an hour and then they're gonna do what they're gonna do and put the body in the pool? This is what going on. Because remember, this person still is not charged with anything. This person is on administrative leave, pay leave, chilling right now. Chilling right now. And Nurse King just had a conversation and look where she ended up.
People have got the strength to when they put them things up. So we need the intelligence in the police force and their resources that we calling for. Because that's the only thing that's going to help us right now to understand is what's really going on. Because logically speaking,
Mandel has not been charged for anything.
For nothing.
You said
Not
that
a
two
thing.
officers were fired. Now, let me say to you, 1 month later, I still do not know. No Guyanese, apart from your little circle, maybe know who these people are. So can you imagine people who would be working with the Guyana police force? They fired and you don't know? So they could still be doing business as if they're police people then.
There's a lot of things that they're hiding from we in this case. We're going on with the pathology report. We still don't know what's going on with the pathology report. As our brother Nigel just pointed out, who's these people that are fired? These two police that are fired, right? Plus, we still don't know the entire list of persons that was at this hotel on the shift, right? And the persons that were dispatched to this hotel because a cover-up went down. Why do we still not have more information about wet foot, right? Mr. Smith that walked down the step. Remember, the leaders of law enforcement is being very quiet on what's going on with this case. We hearing nothing from persons in high authority in law enforcement coming out and talking on this case. So persons is doing a lot of their own investigation, and that is what we making sure we do over here. Stay updated with all the headlines, because guess what? That's another tactic for trying to brush this under the rug. Because the more information that they have out there, the more interest persons are going to be. The more persons are going to be focused on what's taking place in this case right now. Mandal is a big accessory PA, real thing, real thing.
No police who stood and watched a building, a room on fire, without raising any alarm, has been fired or charged. No police who stood before a building. Because all Freddie Kissoon could remember 1 month later is that it's possible that Mandel and others were standing there to protect the building. While people are still inside having a ball in. They sought to protect the building from people. And Freddie didn't remember that the same Mandel said to the girl's mother that he has footage of Adrianna leaving in a car to go with a man, causing that girl's father to go to Parfait or wherever it was, the Freedom area, to find this Orlando creature.
Yeah, I realize how crazy that is. Hmm? Same man that was just on the screen, you know. Same man that was just on the screen, buddy. Same man that was just on the screen is who doing these things. And he is on administrative leave right now. Chilling. chilling. And guess what? Just now Parliament can be dissolved, so certain big decisions to do certain things to persons in them higher ranks might not be even able to be made. So, for all you know, Manda's going to be sitting cool and chilling. But guess what? We will not stop highlighting it. The international people are going to know what's going on in Guyana. Persons all over the world are going to stay updated and know the people them that was involved. Why? We will keep highlighting it every single chance that we get over here at Delta 9 Media. And how do you play your part? By just thumbs up the content, thumbs up this content, and boost it in the algorithm. If you said justice for Adriana and justice for Keon Fortuny, if you're saying justice for Ronaldo, because guess what? You charge a person, but a charge is not a conviction.
That never existed. I will go to the end of the earth for y'all. One month has passed since Guyanese and others across the world sat and saw how unkind, unconscionable,
Yes.
unthoughtful, uncaring, and unlawful y'all could be.
I want y'all to realize how fast a month slip by, you know. A month slip by like nothing. Hmm? An entire month. And now the second autopsy is getting on the way. And still no toxicology report. Good night to everybody that's checking in the live. Definitely good night to everyone checking in. Yeah, an entire month has passed so far, Delta 9 family. If we allow this one to be swept under the rug, is a situation where a lot of other things that we could highlight and make sure that we get justice in is going to be swept under the rug. Because this is in your face. This is blatant. This is innocent blood. This is a young child who is so heinous in our society that they think that they could cover up something like this, that they could talk about something like this, and everything would be good if they do things like this a wrong way and they could get away with it. You could believe that. Eh? You could believe that people are actually thinking that they could do that. Let me see some of this content right here because sometimes you just gotta hear it and see it for yourself to really understand why I tell y'all you cannot allow them to create this false narrative. We cannot allow them to control the exposing of this information because a lot of things will never be heard. Because when you hear their perspective about certain things, just listen to the
She can
perspective of
also
people on
have
this thing.
a
man.
second opinion,
Thank
which
you.
is what they're asking.
There's
Correct.
nothing to thank you about.
No,
it's
that's all.
it's disrespectful.
No, it's
not to
not.
wait for the top
get
because you
second,
vote
to
not
get a second
Man,
opinion is not
man,
disrespectful.
It is disrespectful.
It is their right.
I like it.
Yes.
I like the right that someone has. All our rights exist in context.
What is the context?
You hearing now? You hearing the Beatrice? Good night, good night. You hearing the? He is saying for the family to request a second autopsy is disrespect. It's somehow wrong for them to ask a second opinion. Y'all could hear what's going on. Y'all seen what's going on for yourself. And watching the brother in the middle, he's like, yo, how did I get myself caught up in the middle of this? How did I get myself caught up in the middle of this? All my credibility is gone after this if I don't say something about this. How could you say the people them as being disrespectful to ask for a second autopsy for their child? when there's so many discrepancies with what's going on. So many discrepancies with what's going on, but let me listen to this because that's why I said, please, if you can, take a few seconds, thumbs up the video. Because if we don't boost this in the algorithm and make sure persons understand that this is not a narrative, international people, persons who's not on the ground and who is not in the actual country and persons who following what's going on, they're gonna follow these narratives from these larger channels. They're gonna follow these narratives from these persons who are powerful right now in society in Guyana. And this is what's gonna happen with the keys. Persons are eventually gonna hold this narrative that is disrespecting the government, the disrespecting this. How is that disrespect? How is it disrespect, man? Isn't it disrespectful for you to do the things that happened to this family? Isn't it disrespect for the police to lie to them on that day? Isn't it disrespect for the very persons in authority to tell them no stone unturned and then bring a retired person who would even qualify? Y'all hear what the cops them tell you. Y'all hear what the family them telling you, buddy. It's not me bringing this information and just trying to go against the so-called persons in authority. That's not what this is. That is making sure that there's justice for this girl. That's making sure that there's justice for the other cases right now that's going on in Guyana. And no one is able to highlight it. Why? You highlight it, you find yourself facing all kind of fake charge. You highlight it, you find yourself being victimized if you're on the ground in Guyana. So guess what? Over here at Delta 9 Media, we can highlight it. Why? It's important for the safety and the well-being of the country. And we're going to make sure we make that patriotic step like many other persons right now and highlight the wicked injustice that's going on. How dare you, Mr. Freddie, tell the say anything about the family like that they being disrespected. You know, you're so callous, buddy. You're so callous. Because guess what? They gotta hear and listen to this foolishness with you when you could just be more respectful in a situation like this. Why wouldn't you want justice for this girl? Eh? She doesn't matter. Her life don't matter.
We have a second medical opinion.
Because you're disrespecting the process.
No,
Freddie,
why?
for me, this is it. The child has to be buried. And you just want to have the autopsy repeated just before you bury the child. And in that case, then you got to make an allowance for a second autopsy to be done even before the toxicology comes back. That would be my opinion.
Yeah, right. And who is saying?
Just do it and bury the child rather than have to bury an exhume.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Who is saying?
If you're asking for a second autopsy, Jesus, this is common sense, man. If you're asking for a second autopsy, you want to find out something that you believe happened.
Correct. That's called an investigation.
So you want to.
That's correct.
Of course, we want to find out something that happened, buddy. Why we want to find out? Why wouldn't we want to find out something that happened? Y'all hear what's going on here? Yo. That's funny, Pierre Con. That's funny, Pierre. Car watch. It seemed like the shit really hitting him on brain, buddy. He's saying that it's disrespectful because the people them want a second autopsy. How dare he? How dare he? How dare he, Pierre? How dare he say them type of thing about people? Don't make any sense. So they don't have no rights. You see how people disrespectful? You see how they disrespecting Sir Brian? You see how they disrespecting Sir Brian's wife? You see how they disrespecting the grandmother? Hmm? But guess what? They're in the US right now. Guess what? We soon gonna get his second autopsy information. Guess what? Right now is the best time as well for me to put this on the screen. Let me put this on the screen right now. Let me make sure that this is on the screen right now. And let me come out of the screen for a few seconds so you guys can get a full visual of this. Because anything that you can do right now to support the family is important. Why? Because they will have a lot of expenses and a lot of things that they will need funding and support for. So this is their GoFundMe. So at any time, you can make your way over to their GoFundMe. And let me get this link right here. And I will put this link into the comment section as well. So persons can just copy the link or click on the link if you would like instead of having to try and find it. Let me put a link into the comment section. So persons who want to make a donation to the family, they were Freddie saying, y'all hear how much other persons is coming out now with a set of false narrative and a set of stupidness. So we got to make sure that we support the family because the family is going to need all the support that they can get in this case because clearly you could see there's persons that would rather not see this case get justice for this girl. They would do everything that they can, even openly disrespect this family, right? They would even openly disrespect this family. How dare you, Freddie? How dare you? How dare you disrespect these people in a time like this? Everybody that can see the screen right now, that's the GoFundMe page. And you can make your donation at any time to the family in this time of need. As you can clearly see, there's persons out there creating a false narrative. There's persons out there that is saying all kind of stupid things right now that we know it make no sense. We know for a certainty that is something different about what's going on in this case. This is one of the biggest cover-ups that we're witnessing in Guyanese history. And we gonna highlight the injustice. We over here gonna highlight everything that's going on in this case and keep you updated. So if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscription button and make sure that when you can, and if it's right now, make that donation to the family so that they could pay for all the things they need. The families in the US right now taking care of the autopsy for the child, the second autopsy, so that we could get justice in this case. Why? Because the first autopsy is questionable. We still in know what really going on, and then we asking ourselves why is so many people involved that shouldn't be involved.
No, certain investigation.
I don't think we're getting anywhere.
If you want a second autopsy, there is something in your mind that is questioning the validity, the direction, the answer, the solution of the first autopsy.
Yes.
Here, right. That is.
So you don't get a question. You can't question the validity or the findings of an autopsy. Why? Why you can't question it? Because it's set. And if you question it, right, with another autopsy, remember what we learned from studying with these doctors recently, right? Remember what we learned, Sherry David, right? Remember what we learned, Sherry David, from studying with these doctors recently. Shout out to every single person that is putting the comments in the comment section so that they can see that Guyanese ain't stupid. But could you imagine, right, that he is trying to say, right, that the family should not ask for a second autopsy? They shouldn't question anything in the first autopsy. Why? Why? They should just go with everything that you are telling them. Hmm? When there's clear affiliation between persons and the doctor telling people all kind of thing that ain't making sense from before. Y'all remember what was going on with this guy right here? Y'all remember this so-called family doctor that had a lot of situations going on just recently and had to be removed from the case? Who was defending him? Who was defending him? Y'all remember? Y'all remember persons in authority that took time out to defend him? And we ask yourself why? Why? Hmm? Why? They can have a second autopsy. Why they can't have a second autopsy? What sense that make? You don't have the authority to tell them that.
But you're missing the point. How could that man find something? I'm asking, how could that man find something? This is the doctor here. Is there something that that man can find that 3 pathologists didn't find? And could he find that? And it contradicts what the toxicology reports say.
Yes.
He shouldn't. He shouldn't find anything that is going to contradict if they did the right thing. If they did the right thing, he shouldn't be able to find nothing that contradicts what's going on with the report that was given before. But the thing is this, we didn't even know nothing about the report that was given before. We still have yet to get the full information about the report that was given before. So when the family go out now and get this second set of information and it contradicts, it proves why they didn't want to expose the original information. Because the original information already we know that it's impossible according to science. It's impossible according to so many international pathologists right now that in retire, they in retire and getting 50K for come and do them type of thing to people. They're just giving their honest professional opinion about what's going on in the case, and they're saying it's scientifically impossible for that girl to drown at that pool at the time when they claimed that she would have drowned in the pool, you know. Self-made princess, I hope you're hearing clearly what's going on in this case, and you could see the persons them that's trying to cover up. Osiris, we staying updated with everything what's going on, Lyndon. Real thing.
Hold on, yes.
Certainly.
What are you saying right now? You're trying to tell me that if one doctor don't find that you got cancer, it means 100% you got cancer, all other doctors don't know what they're talking about? We're telling me
You want to
All right.
you're
Can we move on to another topic?
Just telling people a set of chopping is this, we telling people.
Family then, you're saying the same thing with me. If a doctor say you have cancer,
He's
you go
not
to
saying the
another
same
one.
thing with me.
You go to another one because you believe something is amiss. All I want to know is what the family think is amiss, and you have to answer that. So, because you are asking for a second
simple argument, though. Right now, as of things stand, we only know the cause of death. We don't know the method of death yet, right? We understand those are two different things. So,
you know why they're frightened for telling the time of death? You know why they're so afraid to expose the time of death? Because the time of death, or like an approximation of the time of death, is gonna confirm that Adriana could not be floating in the way that she was without being bloated and all of that at that time if they provide the time when she passed. That's why till now we don't know the time. And they said they done the report and they gone back where they come from. Don't take we money and gone. And left the country in a corruption. Left the country in a frustrated situation.
at this point in time, we haven't even gotten back the final report on the cause of death because we have not gotten the final pathology report. So at this point in time, at this,
there's a final
Guyana, because we're all involved in this.
So the police. So if the police gets the final report, that wouldn't suit you.
Freddie want to know who's we. You know, Freddie didn't realize that they got persons out there that is daily seeking justice for this girl. Freddie think that everybody is running with the narrative that's coming across the desk on a press conference, and we just swallowing the foolishness and moving on with the life and not having compassion to deal with a situation that is definitely going to affect all of us eventually if we don't take some type of action to it. He asking who's we. You want to know who's we? We're the persons that saying justice for Adriana right now. And we are the persons that are not going to let up until we see justice in this case.
It has to be the Guyanese people has to get the report. Have to get the report.
This is a public profile case. We're talking about.
What are you talking? Do you think that's the way government works?
Again, this has nothing to do with government. This has nothing to do with government. This has to do with police and a court of law. Why you keep bringing the government in?
You said
the only thing the government got to know that they do wrong.
You brought in the government first
and corrupt.
When we were doing that first interview, you said the government has to be blamed because the police
are incompetent and corrupt.
And then this
entire matter is because the police are at fault.
Oh, all right. Hold on. We have said that. We have aired our views on that. I think there are pertinent other political matters that we should probably touch on a little because we just chewing on this case and we're going back and forth. I don't think we're getting anywhere. We're bringing up things that we already discussed and so on. But to move it along, though, I just like to conclude the whole thing by just saying, for me, the sad part is that so many professional people are falling like flies with respect to the assault on their professionalism because of this case.
Because they're choosing to go with corruption. They're choosing to go against science. And guess what? Y'all realize what the man just exposed Freddie with, right? Why you always defending the government, defending the government, defending the government? This don't got nothing to do with the government. He just exposed somebody's trying to cover it up. Seemingly, somebody's trying to cover it up and he's trying to defend. Why are you so defensive when it comes down to that? The government ain't got no involvement, they got to hide. Why they don't want the people coming and investigate the case if they have nothing to hide? Hmm? Why you can't defend a whole government from this? And what's a whole government doing in this situation with this young little girl, this innocent girl? How? That makes sense. And we gonna come out and stand behind this as real right thinking members of the country, as real patriotic Guyanese. We gonna come and stand up behind this. You can't support that. So if he's defending the government and he's making these claims, we want to ask yourself, because we already see how the president treated the conversation the last time it was brought to him. He said he done all he's gonna do. And then we see this guy show up from the Canadian Mountain Police. So we gotta ask ourselves, if he's speaking like that, how is there a much different perspective coming from the government? Is there something much different coming from the government right now as it relates to this case? Are we still going to see the FBI coming on this case? Are we going to see Scotland Yard coming on this case? Are we going to see real charges for Mandel in this case? What y'all think that's tonight for me? Because from now, what I seeing right here, they're trying to brush it under the rug, and we ain't going to allow it. We're not going to allow that. Not at all.
Case. And what is bizarre to me is that who is infiltrating, to use the word the lawyer of the family used, who is infiltrating all of these top professionals? Darren Wade, for example. People are going. People are going around talking about he doing this, he doing that, he collecting this, collecting that.
The doctor said the accused of taking money.
The man's integrity and all of those things are being brought into question, and he's a very, very young man. He's mortgaging his future just to say, something. Then you have the
The thing is this, we got to make sure that tonight, family, we got to make sure, because if we don't make sure that we keep highlighting this, if we don't keep presenting this original narrative, if
Medicine isn't a science of consensus. I know we all
Wow.
think it is. I know we all think it is.
Wow.
And Tony Fauci has done an excellent job of making us believe that it is. Medicine is not a science of consensus. The reason why most of us get into medicine is that it speaks independently. And it doesn't work because you say it works. It is because it is. There's no physician that's going to be able to say how she died without looking at her, examining her, and having an ME to fully examine her. That's not done. So I think there probably is a part of that clip that's missing. He may have had some additional information, and
No,
I
no. He said that before they went in, they had a meeting because he was speaking to the press prior and he said, we're going to have a meeting now and we'll get back to you. This doctor said
maybe
that
he had a
before
meeting
they
with the
went in,
ME.
the
Did he
medical
have a meeting
examiners,
with the forensic pathologists? And they
yeah,
decided
he spoke with them before the autopsy was done, before they got in there to open the Adriana. They
so y'all understand why the family is looking for the second pathology. They gotta understand why they call in for a second pathology in the case. Because all of these discrepancy is from the original situation. He already making these claims and he's the doctor that's supposed to be defending them. This is the family doctor that Freddie trying to defend and that other persons trying to defend and saying, but hey, this man putting his career on the line and this, that, and the third. And this is we doing. He making these claims. He putting himself in these situations and persons is exposing it and we are gonna highlight it. We're going to make sure that we expose every attempt to divert justice in this case. Why? It's justice for Adriana and it's justice for Kian. It's justice for Ronaldo. It's justice for all our brothers and our sisters that they keep killing out in that country. Wake up. We cannot let this type of thing continue anymore. Because if we do, they're going to continue to sell us dreams. They're going to continue to do these type of things. Let's listen to the international doctors conversation on this because the international doctors is going to give us a professional perspective and they're not afraid of any victimization that might come their way and that might be what Caleb's situation is. But who knows? Still, he shouldn't do what he did. Still, let's hear what's going on right here.
had this conversation and they all agreed. I'm
they
troubled.
agreed.
I'm bothered. I am perplexed. I cannot fathom that I heard that. But I said maybe as a doctor you can help us to understand or rationalize what he's saying.
I really wish
Why do an autopsy then if you can agree beforehand that this is what happened to the person?
I really wish I could. And I honestly I feel terrible because it seems to me all I'm saying to you tonight is I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't tell you how he could make a diagnosis of and then agree on it. Like we agreed. With what evidence? That's the question. What is the evidence
Oh,
that he's bringing
okay.
forth?
So here it is. Because I'm working with your brain now, the way you function. If I see this and I say, well, we agreed that she drowned, I would have asked the question, no, we can't agree because I don't see her body bloating. She was found in a pool, floating in a standing position within 24.
Understand? A person got to bloat before they float. Understand? The body was not in rigor mortis. And the father is talking about the bruises. You've seen the bruises on her knees from here in this from in that video. You could see that her knees is looking bruised, right? You can see her hands and everything that's going on there. And there is no rigor mortis that kicked in us yet. There is no rigor mortis that kicked in us yet. And this situation is what they're
Hours, it
trying to
takes one
sell to
day
us.
to 3 days. 24 to 72 hours for someone to rise surface in a pool. This person is floating within 20 hours, so something is wrong. Again, basic questions could have been asked.
Everything
I
is
can't agree with that.
There's just too many inconsistencies.
Big up yourself, Christopher. Definitely big up yourself, Christopher Matthews. Good night. The government in Guyana think that we, the people of Guyana, are still in preschool. But they know we don't graduate, so they can't lie to we no more. You know, real thing. We is not allowing them to continue to feed us with these foolish fallacies that they got. It's impossible. The doctors, everybody is exposing them right now on what are going on with. The world could see one of the biggest cover-ups going on right here because there's no way that the body could float before it blew. There's no way that the body could float in that short amount of time. There's no way that this girl could have drowned it with all her family right around me. People swimming in this pool, Delta 9 family. That's why I'm saying, oh, people swimming in this pool. People are swimming in this pool all the way up to like 11, 11:30. People swimming in the pool, people in and out of the water. A 4 feet tall child is supposed
Okay. So I'm going to need you to take a piece of paper and write on the piece of paper greater than 24 hours, greater than 6 hours, and less than 6 hours. Because that's the only way this is going to be understood. It's going to become very confusing. And I'm going to riddle off a couple of things. And then maybe you can help answer the questions for me because I'm lost. So if it is greater than 6 hours, rigor mortis more than likely is going to set in place. Beyond 4 to 6 hours, what happens is the normal flora, that is the biome on the skin, the bacteria and the viruses that are on the skin, that are in the intestines, they wreak havoc. And even for someone that is submerged, they multiply and they release methane gases and all sorts of different gases that under normal circumstances, your body would not allow them to do it uncontrolled. Because of the fact that the body no longer has the ability to protect itself. The immune system has ceased to operate.
So you know what that means, Delta 9 family? You know what that means, chat? It means that more than likely they unalive that young girl during the morning hours. Notice the body is not fully in rigor mortis yet, and Guyana is a warm place. And what I learned from recently studying with the doctors and following up on everything in this case is the warmer the environment, the faster the rigor mortis. So if there was no rigor mortis being expressed with Adriana while she was in the pool and her father was taking her out. For those who following the case, you saw it a number of times, him swimming in that traumatic experience, taking his daughter out of the pool. And if there was no rigor mortis at that time, it means that she just recently would have passed. Can you imagine the turmoil and the torture and the wickedness with these people that's trying to cover it up and claim that she drowned? Hmm? And we're supposed to believe them. We're supposed to allow them to tell us that. And they got people that covering up this, moving around in society, free, unharmed, unscathed, waiting for the next opportunity. Because remember, this is the third time on record the third time on record that something like this went down at the establishment. How many other establishments like that they got? How many times that went down at the establishment and it cover up so clear and cast on another Orlando or somebody else, right? That we didn't even know that it linked to them. Hmm? How could we allow these kind of things? It don't make any sense if you think about it, what they're trying to tell you. The doctors is telling me that. Let me listen to what the doctor's saying, because guess what? Every chance that we get, we got to make sure that we embrace the original narrative and the professional conversation about this case. Why? Because if we don't, you can hear is disrespect for want a second autopsy, but you can say, but why is disrespect when the doctor's saying all of this? We heard from professionals what the doctors have to say. We got to hear from the professionals. Because in the country, if we listen to Caleb and them, y'all hear what's going on. And it's not I saying it, is it not a doctor saying it?
Because the mitochondria are dead, because the blood no longer is flowing, the heart has stopped, the brain is no longer sending instructions, the nerves are no longer sending instructions. Those bacteria go on auto drive. They release a significant amount of gases, and as a result of that, after 6 to 8 to 10 hours, the body itself begins to self-digest, becomes putrefied. It starts to have smells and odors, and it develops air. And I think I heard you saying something in the beginning.
Yes.
So it is those
Yeah.
air, it is that air that causes the body that has a higher density than water, that, by the way, to resubmerge to the top. So if it is well beyond 6 to 12 hours, there should have been a significant amount of gases that would have caused her to resubmerge. That is actually something that is logical and very scientific. Okay? The next thing is if
Where were the signs of the gases that the doctor talking about? Y'all just saw the other part of the video. Does that look like she was swollen to the point where she would float? Y'all hear what a medical specialist in that particular field is saying? Y'all hear what's going on? Y'all hear what the medical specialist is saying? And you could see the child, man. You could see her there. Huh? Y'all know what Sir Brian go through, buddy. None of we know. None of we can feel that type of pain, but that's our brother. We could see that any one of we could happen to. Any one of we could happen to, buddy. Hmm? Could you imagine how that mother is feeling? Knowing that people trying to cover this up from since the day when it happened. From since the day when it happened, they outside the hotel. They outside the hotel like unwelcome guests. And they got a child in there. And you could see from the rigor mortis situation that you hear what the doctor says 6 to 12 hours. Between 6 to 12 hours for rigor mortis. So if there's no rigor mortis, what is that hinting at? Less than 6 to 12 hours, they would have unalived the girl. In less than 6 to 12 hours to when she was found in that pool, she was unalive. There's no real rigor mortis. Or they would have had her in a cold facility that would slow down the rigor mortis, because remember what the specialists them done teach we? That the warmer the climate, the faster the rigor mortis.
If it is, in fact, beyond 6 hours, we discussed this at length, there should be rigor mortis.
Yeah.
If it is not beyond 4 to 6 hours, the body is going to be quite flexible. If you are saying that the gentleman that died several days afterwards had only been in the pool or the water for 10 hours, but you're saying that he was in rigor, it's proof positive.
Yeah.
It's proof of concept. And we don't need proof. This is clear, well documented. Any doctor worth his salt can tell you that this is what happens. So let's talk to making a diagnosis without examining a patient. It's not done. We don't make diagnoses on consensus. Now we hear information and we can make inferences based on some information, but any doctor worth his salt is going to have the evidence. If there's no evidence that of what you purport to say, you're not going to say it. The evidence would come from the medical examiner. The evidence would come from the photos. The evidence would come from him seeing the patient and examining the patient himself. The evidence would come from labs, from tissue samples, and things of that nature.
Right.
Him to say that, because if he has to sign his John Hancock on a document and say cause of death is drowning, that puts him at medical legal risk.
Y'all hear though? No bloating. And Parsons is trying to convince us that is drowning. And then look what they do to the person that come out. Look what they do to Norris King that was brave enough and had a heart because she got young children to say, look, I cannot put my name on this. This is not a case of drowning. I have seen drowned victims before. And she even asked if she was being recorded. She didn't want to release that recording. And look what Norris King there right now, because she's saying the same thing that this international doctor saying. Could you imagine if this international doctor was a Guyanese and in Guyana would on to you? Y'all is seeing what's going on in front of we face, buddy. They're really trying to cover this thing up. They're really trying to cover up this one of the most heinous things that ever happened in our society. And they're trying to cover it up. The girl was there with so many family members, Anthony. So many family members. And this one, Freddie, got the nerve to talk about the people disrespectful when they ask for a second autopsy. And this is what's going on in the case. This is what's going on. Y'all hearing from the doctor, the medical specialist himself.
Oh.
How did he know she drowned? Because everything that we're seeing is causing us to ask questions. How could he say, and that's why I'm saying to you, a part of it must have been cut, because it sounds like he's saying, we came to a consensus and agreed that she drowned. I'm assuming, and I'm going to assume this, because I couldn't assume it to be any other way, that we is referring to the MEs, the medical examiners, the forensic pathologists. He and those individuals got together and decided based on the sample of the tissue, the lung examination, everything else that they...
No, brother. No, they didn't touch the girl before they went in. They did not lay a finger account. Let me see if I misheard what he said. I hear very well. I don't miss things so easily. Let's go again. Let's see.
You see, they are trying to sell us this dream, you know. They're trying to lie right in front of our faces and think we're not going to be able to figure out what's going on. You see this? You see what PA is saying right here? This could be one of the things that actually happened with this child, you know. He said the cotton balls were probably soaked, right? The cotton balls were probably soaked in chloroform to sedate her. It would also cause hypoxia by restricting normal breathing. And in a chlorine room, door closed, death is certain. And they're trying to lie to us and tell us all of these foolishness. Let me hear the very person that we would trust with our medical situation, the very doctor that was a part of what's going on right here. Let's hear when another doctor analyzes what's going on with what he's saying. Let me hear what the other doctor got to say.
So Paul, myself, attorney at law Darren Wade, so Brian, Amicia, Amika, the grandmother, the whole family. We had a meeting with the three forensic pathologists that the government provided for the family. Now, the moment I walked into that meeting, like I continue to share my views that before even going to the meeting, I knew, like many others, that this young lady was drowned, right? Somebody drowned her, or cause of death was drowning. We knew this. The moment the pathologists, they were talking, I interrupted them. Again, the family members can attest to this. Mr. Wade can attest to this also. I said, listen, I need you guys to do two things for me. The first thing you're going to help us with, this is what I want you guys to do, to determine time of death. Now, because of the time, rigor mortis and all these things, they're actually got no value after so many days. I asked them if they can tell us time of death, not time of death in terms of the hour.
We just say rigor mortis ain't got no value after so many days. Of course, rigor mortis is important because it would prove or it would hint to us the time of death, which we don't know. Y'all hear what this big man trying to tell me? Rigor mortis is not important. So when there is no rigor mortis being expressed on a drowned victim that's supposed to have drowned from since the other day, like 1, 2 o'clock the day before, and she ain't expressing rigor mortis, it's clear to us she didn't drown at the time or place that you're saying she drowned. So you can say rigor mortis is not important. It's very important in observing what's going on in this case. Very, very important, sir. Very important. You see why you see why I keep saying thumbs up this video? Because these is the type of things that they're pushing out. This is the doctor, the actual doctor that a lot of persons in authorities defending, you know. And y'all hear we telling y'all for yourself parents. Y'all hear we telling y'all for yourself right thinking Guyanese. Y'all hearing what's going on in this case, buddy. Y'all could see and hear it for yourself and come with your own understanding. Me telling you for tech, right telling you, but I presenting the information so we all could be updated with what's going on in this case. It's important that the international persons and persons on the ground know what's going on and know the persons who's trying to cover this up because it's persons in authority that's trying to cover up this and prevent certain law enforcement from coming into the country right now.
If they can tell me if she died the afternoon, the night, or the following morning. I made that quite clear. The doctors informed me that based on the time, it's a bit impossible. I asked them, I said to them, no, when we go in and we find water in our lungs, those are my exact words. When we
So let me stop there. Hear that? When we go in and we find water.
Okay.
So they weren't in. And that is what's perplexing. That's what's troubling to me. To hear someone say to these pathologists that when we go in there, we'll find water in our lungs. How do you know that?
The good doctor obviously is basing his statements on some information that he has. And I think it would probably prove us for the teams that are investigating this to ask him, how did he get to the conclusions that he did? You know, because obviously I'm not sure. The other thing is that if she drowned, when did she drown? When did she drown? Clearly, she had not gone into rigor mortis, despite what he's saying about rigor mortis and something of that nature.
Can you see this, Doc?
I can see that. That's a pool.
Okay, a video was sent to me. I want to play it for you. That's when her father was taken out of the water. So I'll play this for you, okay?
Okay.
I'll play the video. I'll solo. I'll put myself on the screen.
You hear what the doctor saying there about rigor mortis, right? Y'all hear how important it is for us to observe what's going on here from a technical perspective, so we could get our full understanding of this case, you know, so we could crack what's going on here with this case, you know, because as you could see, they ain't trying to make sure justice is met in this case. They're trying everything that they can to brush this one in under the rug, to make sure that persons is not highlighted and informed with everything so they could have a large outcry by the public for justice in this case. I could clearly see from all the information that we would have presented here by now, you're supposed to understand that it is impossible for that girl to drown in that pool in the way that they said.
So that the viewers can see this.
Sure.
Okay, let me play the video for you.
Oh, wow.
So you see when her father dives into the pool, that's her there.
Oh, my.
That's her father. Let's see what happens to her body. Look at her head.
You see?
Oh, my.
So that's as much as
Clearly
I
you could
got.
see.
Oh, my. So
Let me
you
exit a little
Clearly
bit
you
out.
could see there's no rigor
there,
mortis there.
that her
Hmm?
arms were limp enough, her head fell back. There was some very, very
Mm-hmm.
clear signs.
Mm-hmm.
So, when did she drown? If she drowned, let's go with that hypothesis. She drowned. And he said either she drowned or someone um, hurt her and they killed her. When did she drown? Because I was writing some of the things you said. The last time she was seen is at the 23rd at 10:30
At 1:30 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Just
p.m.
about.
And then she.
No, y'all understand from the level of the professionals. We had a chance to hear from the professional, and he's letting us know that there was no rigor mortis there on Adriana when her father was taken out of the pool. The doctors observing the way that the body is posturing, and he's saying that look, her body is still limp and moving around in a way that does not express for a person that is in rigor mortis, which means she just recently died when they did that. Remember, there's video out there with them coming down with them two laundry carts, you know. They come down with the laundry cart and there was a beside of the pool, you know. And everybody run back in there and say, why y'all bringing down these things now? Why y'all bringing down these things now? And then they come back out. And that was it. The body was in the pool. After the persons retreat with the rum that they was giving them from in the, one of the laundry cart and they come back, there was a body surprisingly in the pool. But we're going to hear some more from the family. You know. Let me hear more from the family. So we updated with all of these new, insightful, striking details that I got for me. Let me hear what the grandmother got to say. Because she's giving us some more insights on this case.
That countryside we live in.
Yeah, countryside just do it.
Different.
My mother-in-law, when she died, she's Christian. And they did 9 nights a week, and then they did a Thanksgiving service.
Even though we was at the farm, my daughter keeps calling, Mommy, a lot of people here and they're waiting on me to cook. But the time runs quickly. I said like everything in the hands of God. You don't worry. This child is a child of God because every
Definitely. What we're looking at right now is a special interview that the family did with the leader of the opposition and other members of society that's standing in solidarity with them right now for justice for their child, for justice in this case, buddy, to make sure that the persons that did this heinous crime is brought to justice. Plus, those that is trying to cover it up, Mr. Slim, things looking slimmer for you, buddy. Things looking slimmer for you because the grandmother is exposing you, the mother is exposing you, the father is exposing you. They're saying that when the body was found, it was only law enforcement and it was only y'all and the employees was in there. So they gotta be the ones that know about how Adriana ended up in that pool.
If this child could catch two church a Sunday, Sunday school, she would go. Mhm. That is how this child is. She's not a child. So she's a child going to Sunday school and run home back. She wait on church. When church over at 1, then she'll come. So it's a wrong child. Yeah, yeah, it's a wrong child. But left them in the hands of God. We can get reward and we can sit back, relax, and see what comes.
Everybody has their eyes on this matter.
Yeah, the
Everybody.
whole world,
And they want
entire
justice.
world.
The police failed the country. The police failed this entire country.
Mm-hmm.
There's a young woman in England, a white woman. She is following this case and every
I
bit of
saw it.
evidence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
she's
see.
talking about
Well,
everything. She
I
went to live.
following her.
there is also a group in New York
Yeah.
that is looking at the footage and trying to forensically go through it and identifying who did what and so. So that is very helpful as
This
well.
thing happened less
Mm-hmm.
than half hour. Mhm. Less than half hour. We get there 1 o'clock, 1:10. We set sign up from the bar, one where we could bring in. They say you could bring in whatever you want, but no alcohol. So there's children who don't have alcohol. Okay. Another 10 minutes, finish, go back to the car, bring in and settle in.
Graham is detailing the few minutes that they spent, the last few minutes that they spent with their granddaughter, with their loved one at this hotel. A place where this situation went down more than once. I want y'all to understand. This is not the first situation that went down that's very suspicious over here. This is something that happened not one time, not two times, but three times on the record. This done up on the record three times already. Three times already here. Just a little bit of time they went over there. They didn't spend no time there. They didn't even enjoy the money that they paid to go in yet. And that is how they're being victimized at this establishment. And we're gonna allow people to sweep this one under the rug. Next thing you know, they get the money from insurance, they bill up another hotel, and next couple of years is another situation with them again. People like this don't stop till you stop them. You got to stop them. We got to stop them. People like this don't stop until you stop them.
They're like 20 past 1. Like 25 past 1, they went and changed their clothes, come back, I give them the money. They went and buy the band, come back. I said, what next? They said, swim. I said, okay. I see they go down. And when she go down in the school, she went to the car and she breathes and she put her 2 hands on top of it. That's how tall she is. So like that, I turned away now and I said, get something to eat. About 10 minutes after my grandson come, I turn like this, my grandson come on this side. He said, Grand, I hungry, you know. I said, okay, baby, you sit down, I'm gonna eat. So when I done give you food, when I turn from the other side, Gabriella on the other side. Granny, are you hungry too? I said, okay, I'm gonna take out your food. Go and call your sister. And when she make about 3 steps away to catch the food. Granny, Adrianna'S not here. I said, man, don't make them joke now. You know, I put on my hat.
That quick, she disappear, right? With her family at the top of the pool, smoking a cigarette and chilling over there, talking a conversation. You understand? They now turned away to get something to eat, and she's in the pool. The swimming instructor at this time is in the pool as well with her, running a class. That is why everyone is saying she did not drown in the pool. That's one of the reasons them. And they got like 10 other reasons, and 7 of these other reasons I can bet you are scientific reasons why she did not drown in the pool. We understand what's going on here, buddy. She came out apparently out of this pool and went some part of this facility. And somebody that was watching she? Was it the same one? It's a Mr. Slim that come out for talk all of them lies on them recordings that we play in the last video? Did he know or see something went down and right away say, hey, we gotta take off this camera, bap, 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 and start doing the cover up? And now come out a month after to sell more lies to try to cover up more? There's something going on in this. It doesn't make any scientific sense with the narrative that they're trying to sell us right now. I want everyone take a few seconds if you can. Every person that's listening to me right now, if you can, just take a few seconds to thumbs up this video so that it will be boosted in the algorithm, so that persons will get the right message for them, so that persons will understand what's going on in this case right now with Adriana and get the real narrative. You heard from the professional. He tell we about bloating and floating. He tell we about rigor mortis. We have an understanding that the body was not expressing signs of rigor mortis, meaning that she must have transcended this experience we call life within 3 to 6 hours, less than 6 hours within when she ended up in that pool. Because there's no signs of rigor mortis. Rigor mortis is between 6 and 12, right? You're gonna start seeing the first signs of rigor mortis. The water is warm, the country is warm. Rigor mortis come fast, and she's still in the rigor mortis. So that means she just died before she went into the water. She just died, and we got asked wet pants, Mr. Smith. We got asked Mandel who they upon administrative leave now, still getting money, chilling and cooking up what only God knows what else to do to people and all kind of other things we're hearing from the actual family members right now. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscription button.
I can't remember if I hand Shisha food or what I do with the food. But I walk and gone. I say no she in the pool. My daughter run at the washroom, the changing room. Mommy, Adrianna'S not here. I said no. Listen, thing, this is not she. If she was going somewhere, she would have come and tell me, Granny, are going here. And then there they had place to go and walk around, just around the pool and because the only way the children could play around the pool, nowhere else. In any case, we still started to look, we search and we didn't find her. I went to the bar where we buy the band and asked the man, I said, see, I'll have camera. Miss my granddaughter, can you just run the footage? Let's see which direction she. He said, oh, we have camera, but it ain't working.
You already know what's going on. I wonder if it's Slim she talk to. I wonder if it's Mr. Slim she talk to, or he hear this conversation and he forget to mention though. Remember, the grandma is pointing out to us that this child knows how to swim and she swims in the river with her father. Her father takes them to swim. She's a very good swimmer. So if you know that your grandchild's a good swimmer and everything, right? And you know there's a little pool. You could clearly glance and look and see nothing ain't going on in this pool. The guy swimming instructor in the pool, the guy your family members on the deep side of the pool. What are you gonna start to do? Now look around in other facilities to see if she's in other parts of the pool. So now when they're trying to victim shame the family, but oh, why they went to the guy first? Why didn't go search the pool? Oh, you know they went and look and see and look right down in the water and see clear like everybody know they could see clear. Even the doctor saying you could see clear in a pool like that to where you could see a 4 feet person. Why you can't see a 4 feet person in a shallow pool like the 8 feet of water is any water if you can't see a person in it? The specialist telling me that you would be able to see people in it. They're telling me something else. Don't drain the pool, right? And trying to sell a policy and trying to tell the people them the disrespectful because they want a second autopsy because it's a set of lies, even from the family doctor coming out.
I didn't say anything to him. I walked down to the entrance where we come from. And I went down there. I tell the girl, the receptionist, I said, can you run the camera? I just want to see if my granddaughter come through back here. Because that was the entrance to come in from the main road.
Hmm.
She said, no, we have camera, but she don't know if it's working. I didn't say nothing. About 10, but 15 minutes after two, I walk out. Still looking. I walk out on the main road, I people if I
Notice how everybody's talking about this camera thing all the time, Like it's a normal thing, Like it's a normal thing. They just tell people, but oh, camera walking. Like this is a usual thing. And how we are so comfortable working at an international facility like that without the adequate surveillance to ensure person safety when they're in your establishment. No cameras and no lifeguard at a pool. Where's the security? Where is the security? And this is the story that we're gonna accept and then go against the family and say the family this, the family that. It's not gonna go down. We're gonna expose persons for trying to pervert justice. Why? Because we ain't taking them stupidness. We ain't letting nobody try to sell we no dream. We wide awake and we could see them. She did not drown in that pool, sir. She did not drown in that pool, ma'am. Did you hear from the specialist? Did you hear from the father about the cotton wool in his daughter nose? How she drowned in the pool and ended up with cotton wool in she nose? How she drowned in the pool and there was a sheet at the bottom of that pool. We could see the sheet in the pool, but we couldn't see her body in the pool. And why was there a sheet in the swimming pool at the Double Hotel? That people could clearly see, and there's video out there with it, there's photos out there with it. It's just sickening when you think about this thing, and then they're still trying to tell us that we should accept that first pathology. No toxicology report yet. None of the doctors them ain't brave enough to stand behind it. They just take the money and run away and hope that they never come back to harm them. But guess what? It will. It will. Because we're about to get the second autopsy and more information on what's going on with this case. So make sure that you subscribe so you could stay updated with every single thing, buddy. Everything that's trending in Guyana and the diaspora.
people right. I like just looking. By the time the cousin them ain't come out to this building yet. Right, them still looking in the building, but where farther we could go because the people them allowing you to go up and check, like yes, at least they went up to the bar in the elevator upstairs, but nothing. Then look down, watching around to see if they see any movement them inside.
Hmm.
In any case, I come out 10 to 3. I went to the station in Tushin. I tell the police them, and they say, okay, let's go. They come back with me about less than half hour. They look, two of them. They look and they search and they come back and tell me them and see. My son was standing on the road because since I called him and he left Friday. He didn't move. He was braised up on the
So you see, Mr. Slim get exposed again. Y'all hear Mr. Slim get exposed again because Mr. Slim was saying, right, the so-called employee that was at the pool that day, that was at work that day, I should say, at the hotel, he was saying that the hotel was only searched once by the instructors. He said that the hotel was only searched once by the instructors. You hear right there from the grandmother mouth. She's saying that two police searched. You mean to tell me they searched everywhere in the hotel and they didn't search the pool where the girl was last seen? We should buy a band for go. Where she was swimming and now they claiming that she drowned. Yeah, see how Slim getting exposed. Yeah, see how coming and lying. So there's more to we got to say. There got to be something that's involving him in this case. Because why he just come out and trying to cover up and defend all of these things and trying to victim shame at the same time and trying to divert the conversation to something else and somebody else other than himself for working at an environment like this and still after 10 years trying to defend what's going on over here. Three people lost their life on the record at this double day establishment. And still the employee got a gall to come out and lie to we, tell we the foolishness we think we can believe. We don't know how we just move over here, Delta 9 move. We just analyze all sides and everything so that we could understand what's going on. And right now, we saying justice for Adriana because as we could clearly see, buddy, they're trying to cover it up, guys. They're trying to cover it up, chat. They're trying their best to cover this down.
The entrance. So the police like go to you and ask you about phone. Where is your phone? If we run the phone. So this child doesn't have a phone. This is not a phone problem. This is not a problem that should normally behave bad and we have like problem with you before or is a problem that you run away already from home. We never, 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 never. No problem. None, 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 none. So it's not a problem with phone or
So you see them, they see the people child and just decide that today, right? And we are gonna really play the type of game that they want we play, Alan. We gonna play the game we want, they want we play, Alan. We all know here, Alan saying, we all know that that child did not drown in the pool. They are trying to protect the hotel owner. The hotel owner, who else? Because as we could clearly see, politicians were there on that day. The first person that show up was a person from government. Until now, I want to ask y'all if y'all see anything where Miss Prasad came out and rendered any real assistance to the family after the fact in this case. Did she really come out and give any real help to this family? Or she was just there to observe and to take authority in what was going on and somehow sway this case, buddy? This is what seeming like. And I just saying allegedly after the two because we're still here speculating on what's going on. We got to have all of these speculations because no real information is coming out and nobody really trying to make sure that everyone is informed with the real information in the case. You know what I mean, Alan? You know what I mean, PA? Real thing.
but they keep putting in we head now. Well run. Well the sister December and she uncle present she got father in fact. Present your phone. So as the common entrance come on, we the mother now tell she could use the phone to do schoolwork, like when the teacher send these, work and lesson and so
Mhm.
as soon as she finish, she give back the phone to her sister. So we didn't have problem with phone by friend. Not because she tall, she tall more than me because she's come she chin on my shoulder. So
Oh boy.
it's not a problem like she height or she big build or thing that no, we don't have no
But you see, this is what they would have us believe. That's what they would have us believe. So they would be throw not just her credibility under the bus, right? Not just her personality now is going to be disparaged because of what they trying to sell me, but other persons that it was trying to blame, other people that was locked down waiting for this charge to get paid for them, but nobody moved from in front of the hotel. Nobody moved, so they had to switch up the situation, and that's what saved Orlando. The fact that that group of people that was there refused to leave, that's what saved Orlando. Cause anyhow, because you see that was moving with a suitcase too. And how she came out, it looked like if she was crunched into a space kinda like that. They were trying to come out to the hotel with a big suitcase, a big blue suitcase too. Right? Don't forget though, and the crowd did not allow them to pass with it. And they went back inside. And a little after, the body was in the pool. It's a set of wicked persons that was in this situation. And a lot of them is going to be brought to justice. Why? People all over the world is exposing them.
problem. No. So when the police said that they see her in a car come out and gone to town side, it was strange because where she going? And then she don't walk barefoot. She don't walk barefoot. She don't walk barefoot. She slippers and everything, just there till she put it, everything was there. So it was strange. I said to the police, I said, for I believe that she, in a car, I got to see. That's when they get the footage to me. I said, okay. We go along with them, we work with them. We work with them. The camera on the by the Samuel, the lumberyard, we went there, we run it like an hour. May see the car, the color of the car number. I ain't see nothing on the camera. In any case, we left again, we come, we get the neighbor camera, we run it from 6 o'clock to 9:30. And we didn't even see the car. What is speaking about? No car. You see, when we went there, we went with 4 cars because we family is very large family. So
4 car full of family members went out on a journey, went out on a trip to enjoy themselves. You mean to tell me 4 car load of people, right, is there with Adriana? They around this small pool area, you know. This pool area is big enough, but it's not huge to the point where you would not notice what's going on in the pool, which is the center of the attraction in that facility. The bar is literally, any person in the bar could literally see what's going on in that pool. Persons at the side could see what's going on in that pool spice. Real thing, you know? And the thing is this, um, when we analyze this case, we could see that somewhere along the line, somebody is pulling a string to protect the persons that did this. Because up to now, 1 month after, and that's why we here highlighting it. That's why persons all over the world is highlighting it. That's why so many channels is talking about it because as we analyze what's going on in this case, it is clear and blatant that this is a cover up of one of the most heinous acts that we've seen in a while. Let's listen some more of what the grandmother is saying right now. It's a special interview that I had with the leader of the opposition. If you have not already, take a few seconds, thumbs up this video, let the world see what is going on in Guyana. Let the world be updated with everything that's going on in Adrianna'S case. Justice for Adriana. Drop a 9 in the comment section if you're saying justice for Adriana, buddy. I can drop a 9 for myself in the comment section right now because it's justice for Adriana. It's justice for Keon Fajani. It's justice for Ronaldo. It's justice for all the persons that they took out, buddy. Crummy Wing, every single person that they take out in suspicious manners in the country and they sweep the case under the rug. But we're not allowing this case to be swept under the rug. We're making sure that we call out all the persons that trying to pervert justice. Freddie and all them who disrespecting the family and trying to paint a picture that we're not allowing them, the so-called doctor that is lying and telling people a set of stupidness like if we don't have other persons of professional caliber that could give us insights what's going on with the case. But we do, and they're exposing what's going on. They're exposing what's going on with the case, buddy. There is no rigor mortis. There is no rigor mortis for a person who they said drunk for way longer than would allow the water warm and all the rigor mortis would have done kicking in big, heavy, hot. Guyana was always hot like summer. You mean for tell me people still got to wait them long periods for rigor mortis? No, it's gonna happen. It's not a cold environment. Why was there not rigor mortis expressed on the body? If she drowned, it is a lie. It is a blatant lie. And if they could lie on this young girl, and if they could lie and try to cover up her death, then who they wouldn't lie upon? Who they wouldn't do it to if they would do it to them? It could happen to you. It could happen to me. It could happen to any person in that country, and they will cover it up. They will cover it up, and we could clearly see that's why we cannot allow this. Because what is next after this?
and everybody went there, no stranger, but share cousin. niece, auntie, you know, everybody. We was like 22 or 23 of us. So we see when we go park, come out, come back to we car, they see when I come out looking for her.
You saw all of that.
Yes, but then see she left the building. From the beginning, I telling the police them that my granddad didn't come to this building. She's
Exactly. She never left. She never left. She never left. She was always in there. But if you listen to them, you would leave. And then it would have been a whole different scenario.
still in this building. I said she's still in this
So it was
building.
the police who was pushing to say that she left the building.
Yes,
That itself
even
creates
them
suspicion.
even tell us the mother. All I could advise y'all to do is go home. What we going home and do? Who we going home to
Exactly.
see? If we the only move from there, we could have never find that body there.
But
If we the only move.
let me ask you something. The family, which we agree with, called for an international forensic investigative team to come and do the investigation. I know the
We
family called for
definitely
that.
did.
Did you guys get back any word from the president or from any official how that is going?
No, no, Anthony, no.
So nobody
We
told.
didn't hear nothing. No.
So you
So
don't.
far.
So
No.
you don't know if there is going to be an international
I don't.
investigation.
I don't.
But we support.
You know who they bring? They didn't bring the one who trying to lie. They didn't bring the one who selling we a dream and telling me what he get all the information. He's not even qualified. That's the person who they gonna bring, right? After they show up at the scene, after they show up at the scene, and they would have gotten the information, right? After they got the information, show up at the scene.
Everyone on the hill, they want to see how you fun, Barack.
Are you looking to start your own business? Well, look no further than busy.com. Right now, we'll complete your LLC file.
Before I say they want to reach there.
This is the very first person that was in authority. This is the very first person that was from the ruling party that showed up at the scene to assist with everything that was going on. At that time, he was very commendable. But what happened afterwards? Was there any real help? Was there any real help that would come? Because guess what? Right now in Guyana, everything is geared towards this. Everything is geared towards this right now. This is. This is what we're hearing right now.
Our autonomy. It was a sacred promise, a pledge that the people of Guyana, regardless of race, religion, class, or creed, would together build a future rooted in dignity, equity, and equality of opportunity.
Now you tell me, if we can't even make sure that children are safe, if we can't even ensure that we keep the word to persons who would have lost their children in the country. Remember, Kian mother done exposed what's going on in the case, you know, she ain't getting no help. And we hear what's going on with Adriana. Adriana father called them out as well and saying, look, y'all ain't working for me right now, law enforcement. Y'all ain't giving me no assistance. But guess what? We hearing from the president about things with equality and all of them things. Where's the equality in this case? Where is the equality in this case with Adriana?
We have walked the road for 59 years, sometimes with a sure footing, sometimes unsteadily, but never, never separately and never hesitantly. Now our path forward is clear. The road to prosperity lies before us. We need only hold each other's hands and march steadfastly to our common goal, a developed Guyana in whose bounty all must share. We are on the cusp of magnificent achievement. Our
Man reading a speech and telling we a set of foolishness. Y'all didn't understand is what going on, eh? The things that he is trying to tell us is not connecting with what we see going on the ground. We ain't seeing the going on the ground. We ain't seeing equality and persons looking out for the situation and making sure that everybody is okay, making sure that the country is safe. Persons is exposing what's going on. Let's hear what happened from a person that was there with the family trying to make sure they find Adriana. Let's hear from Miss Laura Batson because guess what? She is the neighbor that was there and blasting her life and making sure that since the night when this was going down, that the world knew that something did not make sense with what's going on with the keys. Let's hear what she's saying because persons is asking her for information, so she is given the information, and she gave this information more than 2 to 3 weeks ago. And what has been done? What stone was left unturned in this case, as far as the president went, as far as other persons in authority went? All they do is bring this guy from Canada that can't do nothing right now for me. Do you hear what Ms. Batson have to say?
Persons who were present before the Thursday now would break. I went to the mother and the father and I said, come on, what we can do right now is hold hands. And I said, every person here, I said, I don't want any and everybody. I said, every person here who has a heart, this child must come forth. I said, every person here, come. We are going to band in a circle and we're going to join hands and we're going to pray. People, I said, come, we are going to pray. Yes. Yes. We are going to join hands and we are going to pray. We joined hands and we prayed at 3:30 in the morning. And as I was praying, Angela, good. Yeah. As I was praying, I led the prayer. We held hands and we prayed. And these were my words. I said, Father, as the sun is coming up, wherever Adriana is, we need to see her. Those were my prayers while I was praying, that we have all that is necessary and we have as much peace and order. But I said, God, as the sun is rising, I said, Adriana, we want her to come forth. That was the prayer. The persons who were banded in a circle as we circled in front of the Doubleday Hotel, I can attest to this. So as we prayed and we were done, we were waiting for the day to break because the instructions that we received that at daybreak, we are going to have access to the hotel to be able to go in there and search it for as long as it takes. For as long as it takes. We were given instruction that even if it takes all day, we are going to search. And I'm telling you, I was in there. I was in that hotel. From top to bottom, back to front. The place is it is enormous inside. What you see from the front, when you go in there, it is spacious, it is big. And
Big,
has
big
a
place.
whole
They only
host
want
because
a
it's a
few
hotel
persons
and
in the
rental.
front
So
to
there's
come.
a whole host of articles in there. So let me walk you step by step because this is the truth. And this is my appeal to us as a nation and the world at large. I am asking, I'm begging to whoever has voices of influence, please speak peace to your people. If you're going to come out, come in peace. Because as I am reiterating and I'm begging you, we do not want to lose our right. Our president has clearly outlined that he wants the truth to come forth, and he said that we have the right. He has nothing against us protesting, but we must do so in peace. And I appeal to every mother and every potential mother and every potential father, every uncle, auntie, cousin. We do not want to have any form of injustice go on Adriana Young's name.
None.
So, upon waiting for the day to break, as the instruction would have come forth that we will have the access, and the parents are the ones who will come and choose whom they want to come in to assist in us combing this building with the fine teeth comb, as long as it takes, even if it takes all day. I am telling you, people, we enter the building. Some of us took one. We enter the premises, and some of us took one of the buildings. The other took the other side. But from the beginning, when we started in the lobby, we were all in the same space. I want everybody, when I share this picture with this young man in this red t-shirt, let me tell you something. I want a frenzy on social media. Sharing a picture with a young man with a red t-shirt.
Now, this is one of the same persons that was over at the establishment that day. One of the same employees she's exposing here, you know. And the one Slim is coming out for TBR kind of foolishness, like we don't understand what's going on. No, we're paying attention to what's going on in this case. We're making sure that we pay attention to what is going on in this case. We're not allowing them to tell we no foolishness. Because if we allow them to tell we foolishness, then guess what? This is another one that's going to go cool. This is another case that they will be able to cover down. This is another case that they will be able to sweep under the rug, Delta 9 family. How could we? How could we allow that? If we allow that, what is next? What's going to be next? What's going to be next for us in this situation? The persons that got young children in the country. What's going to be next? The persons with loved ones in the country. What's going to be next for us? What's going to be next? When they decide to cover up a situation when it's your family is involved. Is that the time that we all are going to make sure that we stand up for this? No, we got to stand up now so that we could put a stop to this. Persons were conversating about this situation in Guyana. A lot of persons are talking about it and keeping it on the front burner. And I advise and I ask that you do too as well, Delta 9 family. If you didn't already, thumbs up the video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to all the channels that is keeping this highlighted and exposing the corruption and injustice going on in Guyana, the Caribbean, and around the world. It is important. It is important that we come together as a people and do this as a unit, standing for justice like patriots in the country, because it is important that we do so. If we don't, we're going to left this type of society for our children. We're going to leave this type of society to continue. It's not now this thing going on in Guyana. It's years now this type of thing going on in Guyana. And we need to put a stop to this. This is how you play a part in putting a stop to this. Making sure that you highlight it. Making sure that you share content like this that is exposing the lies. Make sure that you share other person's content as well that is speaking out against the injustices in society. It's very important. It is very, very important. We're saying justice for Adrianna Young. We're saying justice for all the persons that would have lost their lives under suspicious circumstances in that country, buddy. And if you're standing with me right now, then drop a 9 in the comment section for justice. Drop a 9 in the comment section for Adrianna. They took her life. Such unfortunate situation, such a gruesome situation. How could we, the right thinking members of society, just take the lies that they're trying to sell we know about this case? We can't, we cannot. And every chance that I get, I gonna make sure that I highlight it and bring the information to you guys in a neutral way so we could analyze it and understand and crack what's going on in this case. So if you have not already, hit the subscription button, buddy. Hit the subscription button so that you could stay updated the next time this flight is taking off and we're going live. One love, and I will catch you in the next flight. I want to thank you again for tuning in and staying updated with everything that's going on. right now in Guyana and in the diaspora. One love, guys. One love. Justice for all the people them who take out. Henry Boys. Eh? One with Joshua David. Look how long we ain't nothing but Joshua David. 5 of them or more of them who went on bail and suddenly now disappear off the case. These people just walking around in we society. Eh? Think about that. What about Sergeant Vaughn? What about Sergeant Vaughn, one of the own police, one of the members of the force, on duty, friendly firing back more than one shot, till now nothing in that case. How could we allow these things to be swept under the rug and don't think that it's going to end up creating a dangerous society in Guyana? A country with less than 1 million people and more wealth than most parts of the world. How could we allow such a beautiful environment to be tarnished with people like that? Definitely, man, we gotta put a stop to these things and highlight them as much as we can. I'll catch you in the next flight.